Could the Golden State Warriors be on the brink of a game-changing decision that will redefine their roster for years to come? With the recent blockbuster acquisition shaking the NBA landscape, fans are left wondering if this means a pivotal move is in the works for a key player who could elevate our championship aspirations. The clock is ticking and the energy is electric. Will the Warriors make a bold statement before the deadline? Stay tuned, because this could be a turning point for our beloved team. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to keep up with all the latest Warriors news that you won't want to miss. After a whirlwind of speculation surrounding the Golden State Warriors and their potential moves leading up to the trade deadline, it seems the organization has made a bold decision that will ripple through the roster and fan base alike. The acquisition of Jimmy Butler was undoubtedly a game-changer, setting the stage for a significant shift in the team's dynamics. However, instead of leveraging their mid-tier salaries for another blockbuster deal, they chose to hold on to key veterans Gary Payton II and Kevon Looney, who are both on expiring contracts. Now, let's break down what this means for us as Warriors fans. On the surface, it might seem like a missed opportunity, especially given the chatter about potentially bringing in another big name like Nikola Vucevic from the Bulls. We had that $17.1 million in expiring salary that could have been used to make a splash, and here we are, holding on to our guys instead. But here's where it gets interesting. This decision could actually pave the way for a smoother path to re-signing Looney and Payton in the offseason. If there's mutual interest, which I believe there is, keeping them on the roster until now signals a commitment from the front office that could make negotiations easier down the line. Both players have been integral to the Warriors' success, and while the market may not favor them with massive deals, especially with so many teams deep into luxury tax territory, it's reasonable to think they might be looking at more modest contracts. We've seen it happen before. Last offseason, players like Tyus Jones and Gary Trent Jr. found themselves taking minimum deals, and we could be looking at a similar scenario for Looney and Payton. And let's not forget the financial landscape. Here, with Butler's recent 2-year extension worth $112 million, he's set to take home over $54 million next season. Plus, we have Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency looming, which could easily push his extension beyond $30 million per year. These moves put the Warriors in a position where they'll need to find value on minimum contracts, making the potential return of Looney and Payton not just desirable, but necessary. At 29 and 32 years old respectively, these guys might be aiming for one last decent payday. But considering their strong connection with the franchise and the success they've experienced together, I wouldn't be surprised if that loyalty outweighs the allure of a few extra million elsewhere. Looking ahead, this offseason is going to be monumental for the Warriors. The decisions made in the coming months will not only impact the roster, but also shape the future of the franchise. What happens with Kuminga, who is expected to return from injury soon, will be critical. He's a vital piece of the puzzle, and how the Warriors handle his situation could set the tone for the entire offseason. Looney and Payton will both enter unrestricted free agency, but it's worth noting that the rest of the main roster is already signed for next season. This stability, alongside the decision to keep Looney and Payton, suggests a focus on continuity and team chemistry, which has been a cornerstone of the Warriors' success over the years. So, what do I think about this decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, there's a part of me that wishes we had taken a swing for another star. The thought of adding a dominant center like Vucevic is tantalizing. But on the other hand, holding on to our core players could strengthen our chances to compete in the playoffs and beyond. This roster has been through battles together, and maintaining that chemistry could be invaluable. The Kevin Durant trade saga has taken yet another twist, and as a die-hard Golden State Warriors fan, I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. After all the speculation surrounding Durant's potential departure from the Phoenix Suns, the question remains. Could the Warriors have truly been in the mix for a blockbuster deal? Reports surfaced that a trade with the Warriors was close, only for Durant to squash it due to his disinterest in returning to the Bay Area. I have to ask, was that the right decision for Durant? Honestly, I'm torn. The Suns have been scrambling to build a contender around Durant, and it looked like they were willing to part ways with him at the trade deadline. When Miami opted to send Jimmy Butler to the Warriors instead of pursuing a deal centered around Durant, it left us wondering what the future holds for both KP and the Suns. Durant's frustration with being involved in trade talks without prior knowledge is understandable. Trust is a fragile thing in the NBA, and once it's broken, it can be hard to fix. Now, if Durant and the Suns do decide to part ways this summer, what does that mean for the Warriors? There are whispers that the Timberwolves and Mavericks are already eyeing Durant. The Timberwolves, in particular, could potentially have the assets to make a move. But here's the kicker. The Warriors have a history of making bold moves, and the allure of reuniting with Durant might prove too tempting to resist. Would it make sense for the Warriors to pursue him again? Think about it. If the Warriors were to find a way to entice Durant back to Golden State, it could reshape the entire landscape of the Western Conference. With a core of Steph Curry, Klay, Thompson, Draymond Green, and Durant once again, the Warriors would be instant title contenders. But what would it cost? Would they need to part with some of their younger talent? Would it weaken their depth? These are tough questions, and let's not forget the emotional toll this could take on the fan base. Durant left the Warriors in pursuit of his own path, and while he delivered 2 championships, his departure left a bittersweet taste. Would his return be met with joy, or would it be clouded by the memories of how it ended? It's a complex situation that could evoke a myriad of feelings among Warriors fans. What about the Mavericks? They're looking to revamp their roster, and with the financial flexibility they gain this summer, they could pose a significant threat to the Warriors' aspirations. The same goes for the Rockets, who are reportedly eyeing their own path to land Durant. If they get serious about moving assets for him, that could complicate things for Golden State even further. In my opinion, the Warriors need to keep their options open. If Durant becomes available, the front office must at least explore the possibility, even if it's a long shot. The potential of reuniting with a generational talent like Durant is something that simply can't be ignored. But the question remains, what would the fans think? Would we welcome him back with open arms, or would there be hesitation, given the way things unfolded last time? This summer is going to be pivotal for the Warriors, and I want to hear from you, the fans. Do you think the Warriors should take a shot at Durant if the opportunity arises, or should they focus on building through their current young talent? I want to hear your opinions down below. Let's keep this conversation going because your insights matter. As we gear up for what promises to be an eventful off-season, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all the latest Golden State Warriors news. And make sure to activate that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. This is our team, and our passion for the Warriors is what makes this community so special. Let's dive into the future together.